This is your boy Kent Wayne, and welcome to Kent Wayne Entertainments. Now, I know that it has been a while since I posted. Mainly is because I've been doing a lot of videos and doing some editing here and there. Want to add a few little extra nitpicks and tricks to it, but no. But again, I wanted to apologize for the long wait, but I wanted to talk to you guys about Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut Justice League that's supposed to be coming out in March 25th of 2021. Now, I don't know what I can tell you about the Snyder Cut. This is one of the most anticipated movies that a lot of people have been wanting to see since, I guess, Joss Whedon's Justice League that came out in 2017. Which, by the way, let me explain something to you on that one. I'm sorry, I had to get, when I take my glasses off, I normally get serious. But when that movie came out, I was really stoked. That was the one movie I was anticipating on seeing that whole year of 2017. I mean, of course, we had other movies like superhero movies like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Wonder Woman, which Wonder Woman was a great movie. It was a good movie, good start to introduce a character that I'm pretty sure a lot of people should know who Wonder Woman is. She really don't even need to have, a movie, let alone an origin story to know much about her. A lot of folks know much about Wonder Woman either through comics or animation or through Linda Carter's TV/movie version, which I hope I said that right. Don't hurt me. But a lot of people know a lot about Wonder Woman. So that movie alone was a good movie, was a good start. Then you also had Spider-Man Homecoming. We'll talk about that in another video. Then you had Thor Ragnarok, which that was also a good movie too. But the movie I was mostly anticipating on seeing was Justice League because, not only am I a big DC fan, but I also like the Justice League more than I like Avengers. Because I grew up watching Justice League, the animated series, reading the Justice League comic books. Yeah, I also saw the Avengers TV shows, animations, and read their comics, but I've always liked the Justice League better. I don't know, maybe that's just my gimmick. But when that movie came out, I was so excited to a point where I literally had to just, take a whole day. When that movie came out, took a whole day just like, I got to get my mind right to see this movie because I've been anticipating on it ever since they announced it way back when Batman vs. Superman came out. And with that, I go into the theaters all hyped up, ready, like, oh my God, I'm finna see Justice League. And of course it came when it showed it, it had some moments where I was just like, oh my God. I was like just literally paying attention to it. And then, after the movie, of course I wouldn't be thinking like, oh man, this movie was good, or this movie is great, I'm gonna watch it again, But after I did watch the movie, I'm not one of those kind of people who, when I go see them, like, trying to compare like what I read from the comics to what I see in the big screen. There's little nitpicks here and there. And, some people tend to do that. With me, on the other hand, it's more like I just go there just to enjoy a movie, not to just be a huge criticizer, be like, okay, they didn't do this in the scene or they left that part out. Oh, that's not how the character's supposed to be. I'm not like that. Like, I pretty much give credit to what's due and see how they interpreted characters like this on the big screen. So, I'm not going to be bashing or anything like that. But when I saw the movie the second time and the third time, I had to watch it back to back with a couple of friends because, they wanted me to come along and pretty much semi-educate them on whose powers can do what and who's the big bad and what's the plot of the movie, yada, yada, woo woo. But, when I was watching it, I was literally looking at it like, how did I actually miss that? Like, how could I possibly miss something so small like that? Now I see why when it comes to certain people who are like huge, and I mean like huge comic book geeks, they normally tend to nitpick on like the smallest detail that you see on the big screen. One of those would be, of course, Barry Allen, the Flash. A lot of people didn't like the way Barry was portrayed in the movie, let alone he was never mentioned as the Flash, or the fact that how he was running. Like they said that he seemed more like a Wally West than a Barry Allen. Another thing I would say would be Steppenwolf. A lot of people didn't like Steppenwolf because of his CGI. He was a boring villain. He had a very boring goal of trying to take over Earth and all of this. And given my knowledge on Steppenwolf, he should be a lot more tougher than what he was portrayed on the screen. But I know that what happened back in 2017 with Zach's family, that they had to bring another director to step in and kind of had to take huge chunks of the movie and do a little bit of rewriting and editing and all this other stuff. Oh, another thing that people want to talk about is the whole Superman CGI mustache thing, which I don't know how I missed that the first time I saw it, but when I saw it again, now I see what people were talking about. I was like, wow, that really did not look exactly what what he was supposed to be. So, I started to pay attention a little bit more to what was, what be shown on movies. And, you know, ever since that movie came out, like a lot of people didn't like Justice League. It didn't really get the credit that it was supposed to get because one, they had to change the director mid through the year. It was supposed to come out, and then with the director, for those who don't know, the director is Joss Whedon. He was the same guy that directed the first two Avengers movies, which was the first one and Age of Ultron. He was the one that directed those movies, which some people thought that with him doing it, he would have pretty much do what he did with the Avengers movies, but I mean, given with DC, they're not really good with the whole jokey, lighthearted tone kind. Like it does. I don't mind that, but trying to do almost exactly like how Marvel does theirs, it pretty much throws everything off. And not only that, they made Batman a little bit lighter than what he was portrayed in BVS. Like again, BVS is one of my favorite movies. I can rewatch that without even having to be like, man, I'm actually tired of watching this movie. But that movie, I like watching it, especially that warehouse scene. Oh my gosh, that warehouse scene was fantastic. I've never seen a choreographed Batman fighting style like that since playing the Batman Arkham games. Like it literally just feels like that. And seeing this version of Batman going up against, thugs like that, he's more brutal, more, I guess you could say deadlier because he does kill, but it doesn't affect me because I've read some Batman comics. So again, but not only that, it's just with BVS, I saw where they were going with that movie and how it could have led to Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy. But of course, BVS had a lot of mixed reviews. Until this day, it's one of the most talked about movies, even like to this day. People still talk about that movie. Even though that movie came out 4 years ago, people till this day will still talk about it because that movie should have been a game changer to the whole comic book industry. Not saying that Marvel has done it, but it's the fact that you have two iconic characters on the big screen, sharing the big screen together, Batman and Superman. Everybody around the world know who these two people are. And these two people should have shaken the groundwork of movie industries. But again, it didn't go that way because with people already so used to the Marvel formula that they go see something totally different that's also a superhero movie could sometimes be a little edgy. Like they weren't expecting it to be too dark, or wasn't expecting it to be, so many plot holes, so many storylines all mashed into one, and it's to where, okay, which way are they trying to go? It didn't work out that way. And then on top of that, you also throw in Wonder Woman, so you also have the DC Trinity in this movie. And it still did not break box office records, which I'm not really that big on the whole box office records thing. I'm more into just seeing the characters, seeing where the story is going, how it's going to build up to, future movies going forward. And also BVS was also an introduction to the Justice League with Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, of course. And then you have Suicide Squad, which is also a continuation. They didn't like Suicide Squad due to the fact that Suicide Squad was a movie that a lot of people did not know about. They were bringing in characters that a lot of people were not introduced to in previous movies. Like a lot of people know who Joker and Harley Quinn is, but you had characters like Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Katana, Slipknot, which again, rest in peace, Slipknot. Not the person who played him, but the character itself, because He didn't really get as much. He didn't really get a lot of screen time. He just died off too soon in the movie. Then you have Enchantress. You know, they introduced so many characters that a lot of people didn't know, to where they started scratching their brains like, okay, so exactly what is the Suicide Squad? So, you know, with the Suicide Squad, it was one of those hit or miss kind of movies. They wanted to do a movie that was almost similar to like say Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty much. Which, for those who don't know, the same guy that directed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2 is also the same guy that's also going to be directing the new Suicide Squad movie. And the title is called The Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad, but The Suicide Squad. But so, again, and then, you know, after Justice League, movies after Justice League, you have Birds of Prey, which that movie, when I saw it with two of my friends. You know, I think they kind of liked it. They say they liked it at first, but I'm sure that if we were to watch it again, we kind of like nitpick at some of the stuff that we see. And then, forgot Shazam. Shazam was a good movie. It came out at the same month that Endgame came out, but I wish it would have came out in Christmas, but they saved that spot for Aquaman, which that movie was also good too. But I really do like Shazam. Shazam is actually one of my third favorite DC characters. Second would be Martian Manhunter, and then first would just be Batman and Superman, because I really can't put either or on top of the other because I like them both. But yeah, I do like Shazam. So I see that DC is trying to go a little forward, but with the Snyder Cut coming out, this could change a lot of stuff, change people's perspectives on the movie, change the way we view the characters that we see on screen. They're even talking about doing a comic. I mean, literally finishing a comic off of this whole, Snyder Cut thing. It'll be kind of interesting to read Zack Snyder's, version of his vision of it in comic form. Like, I'll pay to watch that. I will pay to watch that because I'm very curious to know exactly where they're going to go with it. So, again, March 25th. Oh, and when I first heard about it, I literally had to think about it. I said, why does March 25th sound so familiar? March 25th is the day that Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut Justice League come out. Is also the same month and day that Batman vs Superman came out back in 2016. I like the little connection that he was trying to do right there. What a good way to reintroduce us to a movie that we've already seen that a lot of people didn't like, but now we're getting a second chance at it, because ever since that movie came out, there's been a lot of hashtags saying, release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. A lot of folks didn't think it was going to happen because, of course, A, the movie was already made, and two, they didn't think that they was going to at least release his version of the movie, because they knew that if they were to do that, they probably would have lost some money. Why? Because of the fact that people already spent money on seeing the theoretical cut of the movie, and then if they were to release this version, they would have felt as if they made a bad business decision on releasing Joss Whedon's version instead of Zack Snyder's version. Which, again, that 2017 was a bad year for Zack. Was a bad year for Zack Snyder. And I don't want to be those guys that saying, oh, well, it happens, you still got to finish the movie. Like, let the man just take care of his responsibilities. At the end of the day, directors are also human. Same goes for actors. Directors and actors are also human, and they have lives outside of the studios. You got to let them take care of home before they can go to work and take care of business. That's just how it works. So I wasn't mad when Zack had to step down from Justice League and all. Like, I understand, personal tragedy hits us all differently. And it's sad. And I don't want to be one of those kind of fans that just, bashes on someone for wanting you to hurry up and finish something because, something happened at home. So, I want to see this version of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I want to see it finish through. I want to see where his vision was going to go. And, there are people out there that don't want to see it or don't want to support it. I'm one of the people that want to see where it goes before I actually give a final verdict on it. Once I see where it was all going and how it all ended is where I can give a final verdict on, my opinion on it. And not only that, we're also starting to see other things coming up. Like they're also trying to release David Ayers. Oh, David Ayers is the director of Suicide Squad that came out the same year as Batman vs Superman. They're also talking about releasing his version of the cut on HBO Max. There was also talks about bringing back Joe Manganiello. I hope I said his name right, as Deathstroke, because he was teased at the end of Justice League that came out in 2017. And then there also talks about Ben Affleck returning as Batman in an HBO Max series. I hope that's true because, again, I do like Ben Affleck's version of Batman. And I would have loved to see his version of Batman on a big screen, but I know we're going to get Matt Reeves as Batman with Robert Pattinson. At first, I didn't want to see the movie. I was telling my friend, I was like, hey, I'm going to need you to go see this movie for me. So I'll decide whether I want to go see it or not. She was like, why I got to go see it? And she was like, and I was like, well, because, I guess I got tired of the whole, switching different people as Batman, that it's like, I already did like Christian Bale as Batman. And now when Ben Affleck came in and I saw his version, I'm like, okay, I like Ben Affleck. And now we're getting Robert Pattinson. I'm like, damn, I can't just like every Batman now. I got to stick with at least just one Batman that I liked on the big screen. So now after seeing the trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a chance, So I see a lot of potential going on with DC. Like I said, after the Snyder Cut is released on HBO Max and that a lot of people have seen it, this is where the lines are going to be drawn. This is where, okay, are they going to continue on with it or are they going to just leave it alone for good? And I feel like they're actually going to release it. People are going to have the, a different perspective on it versus what they have seen back in 2017. Because of course, we've already seen trailers for it, and what we saw in the trailers is almost like, I would say at least 80% of what we saw in the trailers is not what we haven't really seen much of it in the theoretical cut that was released back in 2017. Like the whole redesign of Steppenwolf looks totally different. We see Superman wearing the iconic black suit. We also see a little bit of Flash, getting more familiar with his powers and abilities. In this version, Cyborg's dad is going to die instead of him surviving like it was in 2017 Justice League. So again, we're going to see a lot of different scenes than what we're used to seeing from, of course, Justice League in 2017. And we're also going to get a glimpse. Well, we've already got a glimpse, but we're actually going to see Darkseid, and I mean literally Darkseid in this. So again, I'm really hoping and expecting to see this movie drop in March of next year, because I feel like 2021 is going to be a big change up for not only the movie industries, but anything comic book related, for like TV shows, animation, video games. Like, it's going to be a big year. So again, if you're one of those people that wants to like have a little bit of hope in DC, I say give Zack Snyder's movie a try. Because with me, again, like, I'm not one of those people that's going to say, okay, I've seen enough, I'm done, I don't want to watch any more of it. Like, I want to be the kind of person that want to see it from the beginning and then see where it goes and how it's going to end, in order for me to put all my opinions together for one final verdict. Because again, I really want to see where this movie goes. It's supposed to be a 3 Justice League arc. And of course, I will probably explain that in another video. But again, I just wanted to share these, my thoughts on the Justice League movie, where DC is going, and where it could go in the next couple of years. Because we're supposed to be getting a Black Adam movie. We're supposed to be getting a Shazam 2 movie. I mean, there's already been in talks about a 3rd Wonder Woman movie, which I'm also going to see when it comes out on HBO Max in 2 days. What's Aquaman 2? They're also talking about doing some mini shows on HBO Max. So I'm very excited and anticipated to see where DC is going. So again, leave a like, comment. We can discuss this all day. I'm open for chats. Just let me know, and I hope everyone have a blessed day, and also happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone.